what is some of your best advice? What are some of those conversations that you have? What can you share with us as far as new people coming into the space?
Well, first off, don't make any impulse decisions. Don't just do something because you don't want to miss out on an opportunity and not think about the consequences of your actions, because there are going to be a bunch of people coming at you trying to pull the wool over your eyes. And if you let them, you're going to get scammed and you're going to lose all your stuff. So I always talk about rule of three. Like, you see Twitter being hacked and taken over by a scammer. You see Discord being hacked and taken by a scammer. You see other social platforms. One of the advantages we have is when we started, we had everybody register and put down a deposit for the Genesis Mint. So we got all of their information in our ERP system. So we also email all of our community members. So if any one of them sees this awesome deal on Discord through a DM that says, hey, Tribe Quokka wants to give you $50,000 in ETH if you click on this link, don't click on the link. Go to social, go to Twitter, see if the same announcements on Twitter. Check your email, see if the email says the same darn thing. Go into our Discord, see who's talking, see who has access. You know all the people in Discord. So you do a couple of ads like at Dick Doofus, hey, man, what's going on? Is this for real? Just ask, right? We all have a bunch of friends that we're closer to in the community that we're not. There's little, people that you're more familiar with. Reach out to them via DM or via text or on social. Just always confirm everything you're going to do before you go and do it. Because right now it is like the Wild Wild West. And I know it's a cliche, but it absolutely is, man. There are people out there to get you. There are a lot of people in this space that have true intentions. You just need to be able to find them. And I don't think it's always going to be that way. Like I think with regulation and the user experience and, just the interface itself improving over time, that stuff will kind of go by the wayside. Although I always think there will be an element of that to some degree. It's just be safe, right? That's the first thing I would say. The other thing I would say is, just learn as much as you possibly can. Gary Vee talks about it all the time. You got to spend 50 hours diving into a subject and just sucking up every bit of knowledge you possibly can on that subject and asking the right questions and going in the right spaces and finding the people that are, more experienced and knowledgeable that you are and kind of lean on them. Right. There's a lot of people in this space that are more than willing to start conversations with you and give you that good advice. You just got to make sure you find the right people that you're getting advice from. And I think Spaces is a good place for that to start because there are a lot of the same people that are going to similar spaces. So we're already starting to get that accountability in Web3 where you can know that the person you're talking with is on the up and up after, a little bit of time. Like still a lot of people aren't doxxed, which is a whole nother conversation. Like I didn't know your name was Colton Stroka. Right,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right. And Dr. Dick Doofus doesn't wear these glasses or this hat. I mean, Brett Somerville doesn't wear this hat or these glasses. Dr. Dick Doofus does. So when I come on the Spaces, Dr. Dick Doofus, I gotta put on the whole attire, get into character. And I'll be more than happy to describe what the heck the Dr. Dick Doofus character is all about. Basically, the other founders decided that they were just going to turn me into a cartoon character and make me part of the lore of the Chronicles of Tribe Quokka. So that's basically how that started. But getting back to what you originally asked.
and Dick Doofus is just because it's Dick Doofus, right?
Yeah. Well, that's another good story. Like, how the heck did you come up with the name Dr. Dick Doofus, right? Like, and that's an easy one, man. When I was younger with my kids, we used to watch Phineas and Ferb. You remember that?
Oh, let's go. There are 128 days of summer vacation and something ways to spend it. Oh, yeah, baby. That was the jam. That was the jam, Doc.
So I used to watch that cartoon with my kids all the time, and I absolutely loved Dr. Doofenshmirtz. I thought he was hilarious. So I was just like, all right, well, I want to play off of that. Like, if you notice, I got the hands in the PFP and it's Dr. Dick Doofus. So yeah, it's basically just a play on Dr. Doofenshmirtz from Phineas and Ferb.
So now there's got to be some type of Dr. Doofenshmirtz, Dr. Dick Doofus antagonist form of Perry the Platypus, if I do say so. Like, I feel like there's got to be something going on there too. Like, Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Oh
right now it's
shit.
Mutant Mal. Mutant Mal is my
Let's go.
my Perry the Platypus right
Oh,
now.
let's go.
But I'm the good guy, and Mutant Mal's the bad guy, right?
Let's go, dude. I love that. That's great, man. No, you gave great advice in that whole thing. I don't know if you had any closing thoughts on anything too, but that just all in between. I love going into rabbit holes with that too. But just any other advice you had before we move on to the next thing.
Yeah, well, like you said, invest in people, right? You're going to find projects, these meme projects that come out, and there's this buzz around them, and it's probably a pump and dump. You don't know what's going to happen in the future. So there's almost two types of investors or people in the space. There's the
Mm,
flippers that are completely in it for the money, which I'm not one of them. I buy projects I like, and I just go along for the ride. I'm in it for the long term. But there's money to be had, so if
mm.
that's what you want to do, you got to pay attention a lot more, and you got to have your finger on the pulse, and you got to be ready to buy and sell at a moment's notice. It's a lot more involved. I like the fact that you can become part of projects that have community, that have utility, that have something that they want to do in the future, and it's backed by a project, right? It's not, I mean, it's backed by a company.
Right.
It's not just an NFT project where they're trying to whatever, man, probably mint out and maybe receive some royalties, and who knows what their long-term goals are in the space. So find those people, find those projects, find those companies where you can truly believe in them. And I believe as a founder, you need to be doxed. There's different trains of thought or different differences in opinions on that subject. For me personally, I won't go into a collab with another project if I don't know the founders in real life. I'll have video chats with them. Like, I want to know who their real name is. I want to see them on LinkedIn. I want to get to know them personally. I want to see if there's an actual vibe between us, because you don't know people's intentions at the end of the day until you really do your due diligence. So that's just me personally. There's a lot of other successful projects out there where the founders aren't doxed. But for me personally, it's just it's a requirement as far as I'm concerned.
100%. And I wanted to actually segue on that. The pretty little pictures of JPEGs have kind of almost desensitized it and made it feel not real, as like kind of disconnected us from IRL. And like, I so appreciate what you said. LinkedIn, where else are they? Are they a real life human being? What are they doing? Like, can I have a conversation with them? Are they willing? And it doesn't even have to be on a podcast. I know some people have NDAs and shit they got working on with these companies. Totally understand. But hey, back in Discord, some shit, we'll hop on a Zoom, whatever. Like, most definitely, especially with just how much actually goes into some of these projects and some of the funds that can be tossed around. So I love what you said there for sure. And I got one more question for you before we get into the final segment of the day, which is my personal favorite. But I'm sure you're gonna give another good one here, because this has been nothing but great stuff. I can't thank you enough for coming on, Doc, or should I say Brett, or should I say Dick, or should I say Mr. Doofus? I have no idea. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out at some point in time here. Now, my brain is a fucking blender, to be honest with you, Doc. But I you see, it seems like you've been through a thing or two in your life. And I have as well. So you can kind of recognize those things. So, battle and adversity. I always like to ask guests this the first time they come on as well, and hopefully we'll have Dr. Dick V2, V3, V100. Whoever knows, maybe when Mutant Mal comes, somebody crazy. But that's neither here nor there. Who knows what's coming for Tribe Quokka? What's here and now? I always ask it in this way too. So the person who's trying to break into the NFT space, start a project, or maybe do something IRL and build a business, or start a YouTube channel, or chasing that dream passion that neither you or I have any idea anything about, but they know inside is everything that they need to go after, much like probably you with Tribe Quokka or me with Diamond Hand Radio. What is your best advice for that person?
I always say, can't stop, won't stop, right? Regardless of what's happening or the results you're getting in the initial stages of whatever you're trying to do, don't quit, man. Just don't quit. Persistency is key. The audience will come. The investors will come. Like I said before, there's not a lot of people in the space relative to the mainstream market. So that adoption will come. The institutions will come. All that additional money will flow in, and all those additional people will flow in. And if you have a good base, when they do, you're going to be setting yourself up for success. So just don't be too down on the down days and don't be too up on the up days. I always say it's a rule of thirds. Whenever you're going after something very challenging or trying to accomplish a really big goal, a third of the time you're going to feel awesome. A third of the time you're going to feel okay. And a third of the time you're going to feel crappy. And regardless of what you're feeling at any given point, just keep doing what you're doing. Keep showing up. Keep trying, right? If on the days you feel crappy, you just lay on the couch and look at your phone all day, but don't accomplish anything, you're doing yourself a disservice, right? Because you just wasted a day out of your life not accomplishing anything, not trying to make yourself better or move towards that goal that you're trying to achieve. So just keep pumping, man. Like I said, I grew up in South Jersey outside Philly. So I'm a big Rocky fan, man. The underdog, no matter how many times I get knocked down, I'm going to keep getting up. I'm going to keep swinging. I don't care who you are, or what the goal is or what you're trying to accomplish. Just keep trying, man. And the other thing is it's perspective, right? We have a ton of control about the way we feel, right? Like when my body tells me I feel like shit, all I got to do is say, I feel great. And my mind tells my body, I feel great. And my body starts feeling great. Like right now, I just said, I feel great. And I got tingles going through my body right now. Like, yeah, I feel great. So your brain can't tell when you say, I want to do this thing or I don't want to do this thing. All your brain heard was this thing. So you really need to be able to just have that positive mindset and be able to get through those days when you're just not feeling it. And it's really just convincing yourself. It's almost like fake it until you make it. So just the power of positivity, dude. You know all about that.
Hey, yo, Adrian. I know a lot about that too.